So this is a very interesting concept in Vedanta, that in the mere presence of consciousness, every activity takes place. And we can use that idea in our daily life also, that mere alertness, attentiveness, awareness is enough. Your awareness will activate things. Your attention will activate things. Your attention will motivate people. You have to only give attention. When you give attention to a tree or a sapling, the sapling grows faster. When you give attention to a child, the child grows better. So you are loving, kind attention. So he says, yatha tadyadaha arthan vedadad. This consciousness allotted functions and work appropriately to various functionaries. Arthan vedadad. Shashwadibhya samabhya. For eternity, he says. For eternity, this is the rule. The rule is, let everybody do what they enjoy doing best. What they do best. Let them do that. That's the way we should organize the world. That way everybody will be happy. So the consciousness has given allotted work to every organ, sense organ, every entity according to his talents and needs and requirements. Yatha vedadad shashwadibhya samabhya. Samabhya means eternally. So that law, the eternal law, that he should do such work which they will enjoy. That's why at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yadhechasi tada kuru. Do as you please. Whatever you like, do it. Follow your bliss. That is the ultimate advice of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. So sapparyagat chukram magayam avranam ashnaviram shuddham abhabavidham kavir manishi paribhu swayambhu yatha tadyadahartan vedadad shashwadibhya samabhya. Continuing next. Now we have 6 mantras which talks about the idea that spirituality is not opposed to the worldly activities. That's the idea being presented here. We have a feeling that the moment you turn spiritual, you have to leave the world and go to a cave. And we also have an idea that transcendental reality has nothing to do with this terrestrial practical world. That's the way people understand spirituality. Spirituality has nothing to do with this world. Therefore, most of the people don't want to be spiritual because they cannot eat an ice cream, or they cannot watch a movie, they cannot smoke a cigarette, or they cannot have a couple of drinks, or they cannot have fun. Therefore, I am not going to be spiritual. The Upanishad says that is not true. You can have all this, but in a moderately. Moderation is the key word in spirituality. Don't go to extremes. Extreme spirituality is madness. All the time sitting and chanting, and that's madness. Extreme materialism also is madness. So avoid extremism and then follow the golden mean, the middle path. That's the advice of spiritual. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says it. Here also the Upanishad says that. Don't go to extremes. Now let's read this. Andham tama pravishanti ye avidya mupasade tado bhuya ivate tamaha yau vidyaya gumradaha. Antham dama pravishandi ye avidyam upasade tado bhuya ivate tamaha yahu vidyaya gumrata. Two words are used here, vidya and avidya. Vidya, avidya. The general meaning for vidya is meditation. Upasana, meditation. Avidya means activity. Avidya means activity. Because when you act, you cannot always have the total vision. You have to focus on something. And all activities are for a purpose. All activities are to gain something. And any activity with the motive of gaining something is an expression of ignorance, avidya. So the meaning we give for avidya is activity. The meaning we give for vidya is meditation. And activity is necessary for creating a comfortable life. Without activity you cannot create comforts, isn't it? If you allow this house to be as it is, you don't clean it, you don't wash it, then there is no comfort. There will be no water, no hot water, nothing. So activity leads to comforts. You can create objects of comforts. Meditation leads to happiness. So I would always distinguish between comfort is a function of desirable object. When you are surrounded by desirable objects, you feel comfortable. But that need not make you happy. You may have all the desirable object in you, all the furniture, all the air conditioner, everything is there, but still you can be unhappy. So happiness is a function of meditation and detachment and self-abidance. That is the only way to be happy. That's the route for happiness. If you are unhappy, the reason is not because you don't have enough. The reason is your mind is not quiet, you don't meditate. Because happiness is self-referral, not object referral. Okay, now, is there any choice between these two? I ask you, what would you choose, comfort or happiness? Uncomfortably happy? That's no choice. Uncomfortably happy, you cannot, it's difficult. I mean, it's possible. There are rishis who sit in a very uncomfortable situation and still they are happy. They own nothing, they have nothing, they don't even know where is their next meal. They are at the mercy of the elemental forces and still they are happy. But that requires tremendous training. Then alone that is possible. So we wouldn't choose between these two, happiness and comfort. You cannot say comfortably unhappy, that option also is not good. Uncomfortably happy, comfortably unhappy, no. What you require is comfortably happy. So therefore we have to do both. We have to work as well as meditate. There is no choice. You have to know yourself, then out of that energy you must work. And then you can decide how much you need. At this point you cannot determine how much you need because you are so unhappy, so you are become greedy. Unhappy people are greedy, they angry, lusty, Lust, greed and anger is an expression of unhappiness. Why are you angry with me? Because I am happy. In a happy mood, you cannot be angry with me. Even if I tell you, call you a donkey, you don't bother. That man does not know what is he talking. Otherwise, so unhappiness makes you angry. Lust also is a result of unhappiness. Greed, another result of unhappiness. So if that is a choice, there is no choice between these two values. We have to be happy. We need comforts. But how much comfort is a big question. How much happiness? Happiness is an indivisible value. You cannot say 1 ounce of happiness, 2 ounces of happiness. That's not possible. It is indivisible. But comforts you can divide. Okay, I need only this much. Different people have different values, different sets of values for comfort. I need this much. You may need more. You may need 2 telephones. Because you talk a lot. I don't need telephone because I don't talk. Somebody want to talk, they will call me. So I save one telephone and that way I manage. So he says, you can decide how much comfort you need. But to do that, you must be a happy person. If you are happy, you can cut down on the comfort level. And I think the modern world requires that understanding. You don't need all those stuff, what you are surrounded with. You have to cut down on your needs. And there is a very important value in Vedanta, tapas, austerity, simplicity. It's an important value. Okay, now if this is the situation, you need both. You cannot have one at the cost of the other. Vidya and activity. So therefore, here the Rishi says, those who simply follow avidya, simply activity and accumulation, life of activity, aggrandizement and all that, they will come to suffering. They will suffer. Because you may have accumulated everything, still you are unhappy. You may have everything, comfort, all comforts are there, but there is no inner joy. On the contrary, he says, if you follow the path of meditation without activity, you will go to a greater unhappiness, greater suffering. Pure meditation, mere meditation lead to greater suffering than pure activity. Activity itself leads you to suffering. Can you conceive that idea? When you simply act in this world, accumulate and enjoy, a life of activity, accumulation, enjoyment leads to suffering. Because frustration comes, disappointments come. But then you turn to the other side, go to the other extreme. Now tomorrow onwards, I am not going to work at all. I am going to meditate all the time. Morning till evening meditation. Reading the scriptures, meditation. Some people do that. Swamiji, I am retiring from work. Why? And I want to meditate all the time. Generally I dissuade those people, please don't do that. I want to attend your classes all the time, meditation all the time. After retirement, I don't even see that person. Because he lost all this interest in this study and contemplation. So don't retire from your work. You must be able to incorporate meditation in your busy schedule. If you cannot do that, you will never meditate. Only a busy man, active person can meditate. Otherwise, meditation will lead to delusions. Constantly, if you keep on meditating, doing nothing, it can lead to delusions. Funny ideas will come to your mind. That is not healthy. So the Rishi's advice is combine activity with meditation. That's the advice. Not simple meditation, because simple activity leads to stress and frustration. Simple meditation leads to a kind of inwardness where you start deluding yourself. Then you start saying, I saw this, I saw heaven, I saw hell, I saw Shiva, and all those delusionary ideas will come. And it's very difficult to know whether he is talking the truth or not, because for him it appears true. So they don't advocate all the time meditation or all the time chanting, all the 24 hours chanting. No. You must work, pray, and then meditate. That's why there is a funny story. This man who constantly chanting Ram, 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 all the 24 hours, when he died, Yama is the person who decided where these dead people should go. So Yama thought, he is constantly chanting Rama, we will send him to Vishnu Loka. There he will go and he will sit near Vishnu and constantly chant Vishnu. So Yama put a call to Vishnu, should I send him there? Don't send him here, because he will not allow me even to sleep. Because constantly saying Rama, 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 we don't want that person here. So you cannot be a monoculturist. You need a diversity. Diversity is the spice of life. You should diversify your interests. There should be diversified interests with a certain center. The center should not be forgotten, so that you can have a diverse interest, so that you know how to come back, how to integrate everything. You become a very wholesome person. Otherwise you are not wholesome. You are taken at a tangent. So that idea is being said here. It is not pure meditation or pure activity. It is a combination of meditation and activity. And my formula is 6 to 8 hours of sleep, depending upon the individual. Some people need only 6 hours, some people may need 8 hours. And some people may need up to 9 hours. Beyond that, sleep is not allowed. So 6 is the minimum, 9 is the maximum you can. So 6 hours of sleep, 14 hours of work. So 14 plus 6 is 20. And then now you have 4 hours. All these 4 hours, 3 hours you need for yourself, exercise, bath. You may have to do some other personal things, washing the clothes and ironing and all that, cooking something. So 3 hours. Then the 1 hour you meditate. So only 1 hour for meditation. Prayer, meditation, everything 1 hour. If you do more than that, it doesn't produce any result. It doesn't produce any result at all. You are just doing it. So 1 hour meditation, 3 hour personal care, 6 hours sleep, 14 hours work. That is the equation. Now you are working only no work, all the time meditation doesn't produce result. All the time work doesn't produce result. No time for yourself doesn't produce result. That's why Krishna says, Yuktahara viharasya, Yukta cheshtasya karmasu, Yukta sapnava bodhasya. There should be a time for sleep, a time for activity, time for meditation, and time for exercise also. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, you must have some exercise. Ahara viharam, he says, Yukta karmasu. Then alone it becomes a wholesome life. Otherwise it is not. Similarly, so one doubt is among people, meditation versus activity. The Rishi's advice is you have to combine both. And another doubt is how do I worship God? God in a form or God the formless reality? A lot of people have that doubt. All the Semitic religions, they worship God as a transcendental entity. They may give a form, they may not give a form. But they have an idea of God. Very tall, lean, bushy eyebrows, deep set eyes, bald head, and long hair, and long tunic, and wearing a sandals, coming like a evening breeze into the Garden of Eden. and calling out Adam and Eve, their children. That's the kind of concept we have here. In the Eastern countries, they have their own ideas of God. God is like Shiva sitting on the rock, tiger skin and ashes and snakes around his neck, and a small drum and yoga dand and a bull near him. That kind of an idea. Or like Vishnu, another idea. So we have many conceptions of God. And should I worship those ideas, those images? Or should I turn my attention on the imageless, formless God, maybe in the form of a light in me, my own consciousness, all-pervading? So what is the right form of worshipping God? That's another idea. So some people all the time try to worship on the formless God, and they get confused. Formless God, because mind needs some form all the time. If you try to imagine the formless, it's not possible. Mind will just wander here and there. So therefore, the attempt to worship God as a formless entity is very difficult. At the same time, when you worship God in a particular form, then also your mind won't stick. Because when I worship on Shiva, Vishnu, why not Vishnu? Then I say, okay, worship Vishnu. After 1 week, why not Devi? Okay, then you worship Devi. Why not Ganesha? Then why not Jesus Christ? You get all these ideas. So therefore, what should you do? Again, the Rishi advocates a combination. When your mind is fascinated by a beatific form of God, worship that. And when the mind wants to move to some other form, let the mind go into that. And then when the mind wants to worship the formless, turn its attention on the formless, let it go into that. Rishi is giving a assortment of worship, meditation. You can worship on one form, many forms, or the formless also. All are allowed. Actually, the form is nothing but a modified formlessness. There is no difference between form and formless. They are one and the same. So these are the ideas which are being said. So otherwise we have a confusion. There is a lot of confusion among people. Which God should I worship? Should I worship, which religion should I follow? The Rishi's advice is follow all the religions. Worship as many forms are possible. And then you will be able to go to the formless also. It's an inclusivistic religion, not a exclusivistic religion. And in this religion, experience is what matters. Not simply following a creed or a dogma. That's not what is matter. So those ideas are said. Now I can read those. Andham tama pravishanti ye avidya mupasade tado bhuya ivate tamaha ya uvidyaya gumrataha. Andham tamaha. Andham, tama means darkness. Andha means dense. Very severe, dense darkness. Andham tama. Pravishanti enters. Pravishanti means enters. Ye those avidya mupasade. Those who are upasade means engaged. Those who are engaged in mere work and activity. All the time work and activity. What they call workaholics. Very sincere people, very hard working, and they work day and night. And those people, andham dhamma pravishanti. A state comes, when they are completely confused, frustrated, agitated, because they have not cultivated their inner life. They are only engaged in their activity. They are very good at that. Others take a benefit, but they have no inner peace or solitude, stress and strain. Antam dhamma pravishanti ye avidyam upasade. Avidya means the life of continuous activity. That doesn't lead you anywhere. Yet a situation comes when you are completely exhausted, completely frustrated. Okay, let me give up the life of activity and retire. Continuous meditation. Can I do that? Next. Tada bhuya yivate tamaha. Into a greater darkness. The other one was just a darkness. Now into a greater darkness, greater ditch you fall. Ya vidyaya gumradaha. Those who are indulging, there the word used is radha. Radha means indulgence. Those who indulge in pure meditation, he says. And that's our experience. People who all the time meditate, they become suppressed people. They have no field for their expression. So they go into a greater darkness of suppression and repression and phony spirituality. They are not spiritual people. They are only pretending to be spiritual. Not only that, such people will suffer from three things without working for them. One is anger. Any such people who all the time meditate, they will be very, very angry. If you, not only that, very preachy type also. The moment they meet you, they'll give you a long lecture on meditation. Why should you meditate? If you are not meditating, then your life is lost, finished. That's why, this man who was going in a boat, he's going the other side of the river in a boat. So he asked the boatman, do you meditate? No. Finish. Your life is finished. Your life is lost. What is the purpose of living in? You don't meditate at all. What do? I just take people across this river every day. Early I come here, take them across. Somebody is on that side, I take them this side. This is all what I am doing. By the time it is evening, I am so tired, I just fall asleep. That's all what you are doing. You useless fellow, your life is completely lost. You wasted your life. By the time comes the rain and the flood, and the river started swelling, and the boat started shaking, and then it's almost getting capsized. Then the person asked him, Mahatmaji, Guruji, do you know swimming? He said, no, I was always meditating. Your life is completely finished. Now, what will you do? You cannot sit and meditate. It's a flood. You don't know swimming? Finished. There's no use. So unless you know swimming, there's no point in meditating. There's no point in meditating. So you learn swimming first, 14 hours. Then you can meditate for 1 hour, he says. That's why he said, Tataha bhuya ivate tamaha. Yahu vidyaya. Vidya there means meditation. Vidyaya gumrada. If you are simply engaged in meditation, that is not going to. This is what happened to India. India, everybody went to the Himalayas, started meditating. No work. That's why India became a slave nation. Because everybody is meditating. The British people came, the Arabs came, they all walked over. Where are you at that time? Meditating. That doesn't help. You have to be active. Then alone you have the right to meditate. Otherwise the meditation doesn't. It's a continuation of sleep. You may pretend you are meditating. So, tadaha bhuya ivate tamaha. Yavidyaya gumrada. Then as you become old, you can spend more time in meditation. more and more time in meditation. After 75, 80, when you are no more able to work, then you can spend more time in it. Then you can shift to the ratio from 3 hours work and 14 hours meditation. You can shift to the ratio. That after 75, up to 75, you have to work 14 to 16 hours a day. Then alone meditation is possible. Then a stage comes, you don't have to sit and meditate. You are always in a state of meditation. In a state of meditation, you are all the time peaceful. It's not an act of meditation. It's a state of meditation. From act of meditation as an act morphs into meditation as a state for that person. So that's what the Rishi says here. Tadaha bhuya yavate tama. Bhuya means greater. Tataha bhuya means greater than that. Tamaha, darkness. Yahu vidyaya gumra. The Rishi has used the choicest words. Indulging in meditation. Radhi means indulgence. Radhi. Indulgence in meditation. It's an indulgence of very little value. The other person is avidyam upasade. Use the word upasade. One who worships work. Upasana means worship. One who worships work, of course, he has got some problem. He is always saying that I am overworked, I am overworked. All those are there. But that other person, he is in a worse condition. So what should I do next? Is that clear to you? Anyadeva ahuhu vidyaya Anyadahura vidyaya Idi shushrumadhiranam Yenastad vechachakshire. So for this my equation is 1 hour meditation, 3 hour personal care, 6 hours sleep, 14 hours work. That's how you should. This personal care includes your cooking, bathing and exercise and all that. Isn't the 3 hours? One should do that. And then this. And when you become old, you can change depending upon your condition and all that. Now the Rishi's advice is Anyadeva ahuhu vidyaya. Vidya means meditation. Vidyaya, through meditation. Anyad means a certain result is gained. Anyad bhalam, a certain result is gained by meditation. No doubt. By meditation you do gain certain benefits. Anyadevahu vidyaya. Through meditation you get some peace of mind. But you don't break into beyond the veil of Maya by meditation unless you combine it with work. You have to combine it with work. Then alone you can break out of the veil of Maya. Otherwise you get a temporary feeling of peace. At least others get peace because you are not bothering them, sitting and meditating. So otherwise it is of not much result, much benefit. So anyada eva ahu. Ahu means they say. The great rishis say ahu. What do they say? Vidyaya. Vidyaya by meditation. Anyad bhalam ashnude. You get a certain result. Certain result is gained by meditation. What is the result by meditation you get? Meditation you get happiness, inner peace, etc. Provided you do it properly. Anyadahuhu avidyaya. Avidya means by activity. By activity you get a certain other result. The different benefits that you get. Anyada. Different benefits are gained by meditation and activity. So activity can be for two reasons. Why do you act at all? Activity is always prompted by a desire. If there is no desire, there is no activity, isn't it? Desire prompted is activity. So activity is to procure an object of your desire. There is another reason why you work. That also is a desire. The desire to serve, to help. Not because you need something personally, but you can afford to help the other. So these are the only two reasons for activity. Either you want to serve yourself, serve some of your purposes, or you want to help the other. And in both these activities, frustrations are inevitable. One thing, you may not get the object that you desire by activity, isn't it? Have you got all that you desire? No, you won't get. Second is, even if you get, you may not be happy with it. That's the greatest frustration. I wanted to get this, I got it, now I am stuck with it. Then suddenly I realized I didn't want it. That is another thing. Even if you are happy, you need not be continuously happy with it. So activity with a self-centered purpose has its own problem. And then exhaustion involved. Then all the frustrations, all the tensions involved in it. That's one problem with activity. And if you want to help another person, again there is problem. One thing, you may not need your help. You are imposing yourself on him. Okay, take this help, take this help. Then you feel very, very unhappy. Secondly, the thing, your help may not be helpful to him. You think you are helping him, but he doesn't see it that way. That's another problem. Then you feel again bad. With all my good intentions, I try to help him, but he doesn't take it that way. It may not be helpful to him. And thirdly, he may not be thankful to you for the help that you are rendering. You may not be thankful. You just take your help and get lost. Then you say, oh, thankless world. Then a time comes, you are not interested in helping the world at all. You become a very cynical person, very cynical. That's the problem with helping the world. Albert Schweitzer, toward the end he became very cynical. Albert Schweitzer, the great philanthropist and humanitarian, he left everything and went to Africa. He spent his time, but toward the end he became cynical. There's no use. Or Father Damien in Molucca Island, he spent his time with these lepers. He always used to say, if only I get a few more help. He used to tell people. Then two young men, they left their studies, they came to the island and tried to help him. And he quarreled with them. Because when these young men came, the lepers became a little more attached to these young men. They are tired of this old man and his demands and his rules and all that. So he got very upset. I have been serving them since all these years. When these two young men came, all of them went to him and he fought them and drove them out of that country. You see, so when we really analyze the purpose, motives of people, there is always some insecurity, some selfishness involved in it. And hence, he says, if you expect any gratitude, you are in trouble. If you think you are helping the other person, you are in trouble. If you think that you know better, you are in trouble. Then what to do? So he says, all these activities are fraught with difficulties and problems. And when we have that humility, we will approach the issue with great circumspection. I always tell this story when old women were standing on the staircase, on the flights, staircase in a hotel. In the middle of the staircase, puffing and panting and sweating, and then with a couple of suitcases around her. So a young man thought, poor lady, she is trying to lift the luggage up. So he went and lifted the luggage. So the lady said, no, don't do it. But he thought the lady is modest, and then he lifted and put it up, came back to lift the last luggage. Then this lady gave him a slap. With much difficulty I brought the luggage down, now you are taking it up. Understand? You thought you are helping him, her, but that was not help at all. It's your anxiety to prove yourself. Maybe your grandmother you never helped. Now you think I must help somebody. And then you do it and you make a mess of her life and your life also. So every activity is fraught with these problems. And therefore, he says activity produces certain result. Meditation also produces certain result. But if you combine them, you get the best result from both meditation and from both activity. So anyadeva ahuhu vidyaya anyada ahuhu avidyaya idi shushruma dhiranam. Thus I heard from my dhirana, masters. Dhira here means masters. I heard from my master. Because this is not a one lifetime wisdom. One lifetime wisdom. It's not a one lifetime wisdom. In one lifetime you get some wisdom also. This is generations of accumulated and filtered, tried and tested and lived wisdom. That's the beauty of this wisdom. So he says, he does not say this is my thinking. No. Oh, I created these ideas. No. He says, I heard from my masters. Idi, thus, Shushruma, have I heard, Dhiranam, from my masters, ye, those masters, Naha tad vichachachire. Those masters, Naha to us, tad means about this wisdom, vichachachire, explained. So those masters who explained to us about the perennial wisdom, they told me it is not a one-track pursuit, either meditation or activity. You need both meditation and activity. That is what I heard from my master. So why does he suddenly bring his master? You want to say it's not my individual creation. There's another problem with our Western culture. Everything should be something new. You must repudiate your master. Then alone you have a value in the market. You must critique the past and completely demolish the past. Then create something new. Then alone you will be recognized. Whereas in the Eastern tradition it's totally different. Whatever you say must be corroborated by the wisdom statement of the ancients. Otherwise, it has no value at all. Who said this? If you say, I said it, then you will have no respect. You said it from your own experience, not enough. You have to quote and get proof from the ancient masters. Then alone it will be recognized. So, idi shushruma dhiranam ye naha tad vichachachire. Vichachire means explained. Those who has explained to us, we have heard from them. So science and technology is concerned, you can have new ideas. But wisdom statements are concerned, they are all set there. One has to follow those techniques. Continuing. Vidyam cha yastadvedo bhayam saha avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyaya mridamashnude. There is a very interesting story in India that Rama was supposedly the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, God himself. So when he was born as the first son of Dasharatha, the king of Ayodhya. So he grew up, he was about 13, 14. That's the time when children become very restless. When the hormones start rushing into your bloodstream, 13, that's that stage. So Dasharatha found that Rama is little restless. Rama started getting irritated, shouting, which he never used to do. Earlier, whatever Dasharatha says, Rama will implicitly listen, obey, yes dad, yes dad, yes dad. Now he started asking, why dad, why dad, why dad. So Dasharatha thought he is the problem has started now. And then he sent him to all the ashrams. Visit all the ashrams. And talk with these rishis and munis. And drink of their wisdom. Learn from them. So Rama went all around, visiting all the ashrams, discussing with the munis, then he came back. When he came back, he became very, very moody. He lost interest in life. Because the rishi said the world is an illusion. The reality is beyond. So there is no point in fighting and all that. So Rama became very otherworldly. He lost interest in studies, in archery, in wearing fine clothes, in talking with the people, in entertainment and exercise, and he will sit in a corner of the room and think. Think about the world and that which is beyond the world. He lost all interest. Then Dasharatha thought this is another danger. Earlier he was very restless going around, now he is absolutely quiet. This also is not good. Then Dasharatha asked his guru Vasishtha, please come and teach, talk with Rama. Don't we say that? When we are not able to deal with our children, Guruji, please come and talk. Talk with this person, deal with him. So Vasishtha comes and teaches Rama. Rama, the world is mithya or illusion, but you have to deal with this illusion. You'll have to live in this world. You have to deal with it. Illusion means it is constantly changing. That is all what illusion means. The world is a constant flux and change. So you must be constantly alert to face this flux changing world. That is all what was taught. Does not mean you must brood over it, you must feel very melancholic about it. You must be very dynamic. The world is constantly changing and dynamic. That's all what is meant. So Vasishtha taught all this in a book called Yoga Vasishtha. Yoga Vasishtha. That's a big teaching. So the illusory nature of the world should not make you a melancholic person. It must make you a very dynamic person. You must run with the world if the world is running. So Rama became very dynamic as a result of this teaching. So that problem is there. Worldly, you may suddenly turn away from the world. The other extreme. There are a lot of people like that. I have seen youngsters, oh, there is nothing in the world, there is nothing in the examination. Why nothing in the examination? They are not doing well in the examination. That is the underlying reason for seeing the illusory nature of the world. I would appreciate if you do well in examination and then say, there is nothing in the world. Oh, there is nothing in the A plus and there is nothing in that. But still you are consistently getting it. That is the challenge. Otherwise you have no right to say there is nothing. So one should perform well and then say, I don't care for the results. I don't care for it. Everybody is praising you, but you are calm and quiet. That is the state we require. So that's being said here. Vidyam cha yaha tadveda upayagam saha. So you must know, you must Veda. Veda means know and practice. Veda. Ubhayam means both. You have to know and practice both. Ubhayam. You must combine both. What both? Vidyam cha, meditation and intense activity. Both are necessary. Ubhayam saha. Vidyam cha, avidyam cha. Ubhayam saha yaha Veda. Avidya mrityam tirtva. What exactly is the purpose of activity? The Upanishad Rishi says, The purpose of activity is to know your mind. You know your mind, the mind's likes and dislikes. Mind is full of likes and dislikes. That is the content of the mind. It is this which makes you go through the problem of death and life and death. Birth and death, birth and death. Likes and dislikes. I like it, therefore I go and join it. That's my birth. I dislike it, therefore I leave it. That's my death. So birth and death is due to your likes and dislikes. Whatever you like, you go and get it. Whatever you dislike, you avoid it. Isn't it? So according to your like, you do activities. According to your activities, you have to enjoy the results. And to enjoy the result, you get into new fields of experience. That's how it happens. So like leads to pursuit of the desirable object. Then it leads to activities, and then the results, then the enjoyment, then moving into a new body. For example, in this life, we are all the time thinking of, let's say, how to destroy the other person, your enemies, violent thoughts. So those violent thoughts will determine your next birth. So you will be maybe killed, or you may be very violently treated in the next birth. So your present birth determines the deeds and thoughts, the attitude determine your future birth. So all these are, so the likes and dislikes lead to birth and death. This is called mortality. Mortality or mrityu. Mrityu, death. So by knowing the mind and its likes and dislikes, you will be able to manage the mind. From extreme likes and dislikes, you can control your extreme likes and dislikes, so that you don't have to helplessly go through this process of birth and death. Birth and death. So he says, likes and dislikes have to be brought under control. You are not violently reacting to likes and dislikes. You may follow your likes and dislikes with a total understanding. That way you can gain a very balanced state of mind. So by involving in activity, you understand your mind, your likes and dislikes, and the frustrations and the problems involved in it, and over a period of time, you will be able to manage the mind. That's why the Rishi says, avidyaya mrityum turtva. You will be able to overcome the problem of mrityu, death, likes and dislikes through activities. That's why when you are very active, you understand your mind better. If you are not active, there is no way of understanding your mind. You look like a holy man, but you are a really hollow person. You like a good man, but you are good for nothing person. Because he has no understanding of his mind. He doesn't react because there is no reason for him to react. He has done nothing. But if you invest some money in a business, or if you spend some time with you and that person cheats you, then you will react, isn't it? Reaction is when you put your energy and time and your hopes. Suppose I have not put any energy or money or my time, then why should I react? So reaction comes when you are active. When you are not active, you have no reaction. It's not that you have no reaction, you have no reason to react. It's there. It's there in the basement of your mind. I hope you understand that. It's there in the basement of the mind. So most of the people say, no, I don't want to get engaged entangled with anything because that will upset me. But you are already ready to be upset. It's there. That's the nature of your mind. So it is through these interactions you come to know the way your mind reacts, the profile of your mind, your ragadvesha. So how do I, that famous question, why bad things happen to good people? But the real question should be, what happens to good people when bad things happen to them? That should be the real question. How do you know he is a good man? So unless you interact and face these ups and downs of life, you have no way of knowing the mind, managing the mind, mastering the mind. So mastering the mind is by interacting with the world. Otherwise, it is not possible. By sitting in a cave, you cannot do that. You can kill the mind. But if you kill the mind, then you become an animal. You cannot uplift the mind sitting there. First of all, you have to understand. That's why Buddha came back from the forest. Krishna asked Arjuna, don't go run away to the forest. Krishna asked Arjuna, don't run away to the forest. Because that's no solution. Your mind is the problem. So how do I understand the mind? Act. Then you know you are capable of anger, you are capable of jealousy, you are capable of this, you are capable of that. Act in this world. And as a result of that, you will be able to manage your life better. So avidyaya mrityum tirtva. So work and interaction is a necessary condition or activity for knowing the mind. You have to interact. Interact with another human being. That's very important. Because the unconscious is developed that way through interactions. By interacting with another machine, you cannot know your mind. Suppose you are operating a machine. The machine doesn't provoke you, doesn't activate your ego. What activates your ego is another person. Because when you look at a machine, the machine doesn't look at you. The machine doesn't look at you. But when you look at another person, he looks at you too. So that's a kind of dialogical interaction. That makes you upset, or that brings out all your ancient fears. So such interactions are necessary to know who you are, how your mind functions, what are the conditionings of the mind. And then you have to apply these values, whatever we have been talking, meditation. So the meditation will help you to manage the mind. Activity will help you to understand the limitations of the mind. So they should go hand in hand. So haven't you experienced that when you have a big problem in the workplace and your mind is very upset, you don't know what to do, you come to a seat of meditation, sit down with this problem weighing heavily on your mind. You have no solution. You sit, you pray or meditate, and suddenly a solution manifests. Sometimes it happens in sleep also. You go to sleep, or you listen to music, or you have a strong cup of tea, then suddenly the solution manifests from your own inner self in that meditative mind. So that's why Rishi says, avidyaya mrityum tirtva. Tirtva means transcending. Transcending your mrityu. Mrityu means the likes and dislikes, strong reactions. Through activity, you can understand and manage your strong reaction. You become wiser a little more by interacting with the people. And then vidyaya amrutamashnude, and then through meditation, vidya, you can gain immortality, transcend the mind. Amrutattva means immortality. So these two processes should go hand in hand. One is watching the mind through activity. The other is transcending the mind through meditation and contemplation. Otherwise you will not be able to transcend the mind. The mind is pull you down all the time. In the meditation also, what are you thinking? I will teach him a lesson. Who does he think he is? Where is he nowadays? All those thoughts and fears, you cannot meditate, nor can you pray. Prayer also is not possible. So this is very, very important. Savidya mrityum tirtva vidyaya amrudamashnude, gain immortality. That's very simple for you now. Should I proceed to the next? Continuing. So the amrutatvam means realization of your true self. That's possible when the mind is ready and steady through these activities. So that way married life is much more suitable for mind management. You understand the mind better. If you are single, that's not possible. You simply sit somewhere and you look good, but you are not. If you are married, you challenge each other, you question each other, you pull down each other, and then you know your ground. This is me. You cannot pretend. I can pretend. I am a very holy man. But if a married person pretend, immediately she or he will come. So it is very, very difficult, because they always bring you a mirror. This is what you are. So no pretension possible. And they will shamelessly announce your nature, who you are really, and without any hesitation. Immediately. In fact, they will have to look, is she there? Before they say something, before they pretend something. So therefore, married life is better, or a life of activity, or in an ashram. A guru cannot pretend, because hundreds of eyes are looking at him. While he eats, while he talks, while he is sitting alone, while he sleeps, everybody is watching. You cannot pretend. But if you are sitting in a cave, you can pretend. Nobody watches you. So this is very, very important, the interactive life. Continuing. Andham tama pravishanti ye asambhudhi mupasade tado bhuya ivate tamaha yagu sambhutyagum vrataha. Now he says, another line of thought is taken up here. Ye asambhudhi upasade. The word used there, asambhudhi. Upasana means worship. Asambhudhi. Asambhudhi. Asambhudhi means this manifest world. Manifest world. I am giving a different meaning than what is given there, because that's more logical. Sasambhudhi means the manifest world, the illusory world. The manifest world is illusory. Why do you say the manifest world is illusory? Because it has no permanence. This table is illusory because it is not permanent. It was not there, it will not be there. And its purpose is different. For you, it is for writing purposes. For somebody to sit, somebody is to use it as fuel, firewood. So because of all these reasons, we say the manifest world is asambhudhi. It is illusory. It has no real existence. Anything in this world, including our body, has no real existence. If you make a computer image of this body, how it will look after 500 years, this body? What will be the 500 years only? The body must have gone through several stages. First it becomes worm-eaten, worms eat them, then become worm's body. The worms themselves are eaten by birds. Birds themselves are eaten by some cats. Cats are eaten by some higher animals. So it goes through several stages. It is illusion, not real at all. That's why this world called Asambhudi. So those who worship the world alone, following the rules of the world and worship the world, Asambhudi, saying that this is the only reality. There is nothing else. This world alone is real. Like Nietzsche, who said God is dead. He announced one day, God is dead. Then he called a lot of people, and then he wanted to make a public announcement, God is dead. But before he could complete the world, he had a heart attack and he died. Now the next day, newspapers, Nietzsche says God is dead. But God says Nietzsche is dead. And then, so Nietzsche is dead. So God survives. So that way, this is illusory. This world is illusory. There is no doubt about it. It changes. Nothing is permanent. One must be ready for that. There is no point in worrying and crying and about it. It's better to deal with as it comes. That time, but this person, no, the world is, this is the only reality I can see. The little joys I get out of the world, that is all what I can have. If I don't have it, then I lose everything. That kind of materialistic, Epicurean attitude to life. Make the hay while the sun shines, that kind of attitude. Let me have this little pleasure, there's nothing higher than life. And there are people who say that. And he says, such people, and they with much difficulty, they procure things and do things, and then finally they discover those things are not valuable at all. Or they run away from them. And there are a lot of such frustrations in life. With much difficulty you get it, then you see that you don't need it, you cannot possess it, or even if you have it, you have no taste for it. Your values change. Suddenly your values change. That is what we are doing in the shopping mania. We shop some, buy. Till you buy it, you are crazy about it. Thinking about it, dreaming about it. Once it is in the dicky, the back of your car, you lost interest in it. Why are you not using it? Oh, that's old-fashioned. You lost interest in it. Then you need the other thing. So this way, the human mind, he says, does not see the illusory nature of the world. So those who worship the illusory world, asambhudim, what happens to them? Andham dhamma pravishandi. They get into dark world of pain, suffering, frustration, disappointments, being betrayals. Everything is their experience. They all come into their experience. So he says, Andham dhamma pravishandi. They get into a very dark world. Okay, then I am retiring. I am leaving everything. I leave everything. No, I become a sannyasi. Leave everything and go and all the time in the ashram meditate. And I am not interested in the manifest material world at all. Then what are you interested? I am interested in the unmanifest, higher, transcendental, invisible truth. And I am trying to meditate on that. And I completely withdrawn from the world. And I will not eat, I will fast, and I will, that kind of a life, totally contemplating upon the higher. What happened to those people? Ya sambhutyagum rataha. Sambhuti. Sambhuti means unmanifest. I am giving a slightly different meaning from what is there in the book. Sambodhi means unmanifest. Sanskrit allows all this, unmanifest, from which everything has come. Sambodhi means from which everything has come, the source. That's the meaning of Sambodhi there, the source. So those who worship the source and exclude the manifested world, they say, I have nothing to do with it, I am worshipping only the source. What happened to such people? Tadaha bhuya ivate tamaha. Bhuyas tamaha, greater darkness they go. They go into a greater darkness because they are only worshipping the unmanifest, they have no discipline, nothing to do with the world. They get into a greater darkness, confusion, madness. Then what should we do? You, in your effort to worship the transcendental, don't ignore the material world. They have its own value. You cannot separate them. Can you separate the wave from the water? Can you separate the ring from the gold? You cannot. If you want to see the gold, look at the ring. When you look at the ring, you see I am talking about a golden ring. So you cannot separate the phenomenal world from the nominal world. They are two expressions of the same thing. The phenomenal world is an idea. The nominal world is an idea. The phenomenal world is a manifestation of that idea. That is one way of looking at it. So you cannot say that I need the transcendental, but I don't need the practical or the material. That division is an illusory division. There is no division between the higher and the lower. Therefore, those who think of the higher, they not only lose the lower, whatever little bit benefits are there, they will lose it and they will not gain that too. They are called ubhaya brashta, exiled from both, neither there nor here. So you have to combine them. You have to look for the unmanifest in the manifest. You have to look for the gold in the ring. You have to look for the unmanifest in the manifest. Look for God in the world. Look for God in the world. That's why in the suffering humanity, you must see your God. Suffering humanity. In the world, you have to see God. So if you remove the world, and try to see God, you will never see. Because you have lost the whole charm of it, the whole beauty of that. Recently I was in New York, that one gentleman was telling me a very interesting story. There was a flood and then this man went up the roof of the building. There was flood everywhere. Everywhere flood. So he was praying very ardently to God. God, save me, Prahimam, Tahimam, save me, save me, save me. Send me some help. And then comes a little boat. The boat comes towards him and he said, get onto this boat. He said, no, I am waiting for God to come and to lift me. So he wouldn't get onto the boat because I want to, God help me. Then comes a bigger boat with many people in it. Get onto it. By the time the water has gone onto the roof also, water has come up to his neck. He wouldn't get into the boat. Then comes a helicopter, because by the time he is floating in the water, climb onto the helicopter, here is the rope, catch the rope, come. He said, no, God himself must come, I am praying to God. So this man died and he reaches Peter, and he asked Peter, why is this? I believed in Christ, I am a good Christian and all that, and God never came to my help. Who said God didn't come to your help? He sent 3 times help, and you refuse to avail those help. You see God in all this. There is no separate God. There is no separate God other than what you can get in your daily interaction. It's not a separate, spirituality is not a separate profession. Spirituality is to be lived in and through your daily life, and see God in the daily events, ups and downs of your life. Hold on to your truth and then go into the daily problems of life. So that's a very revealing statement for us. So what is required is moderation. Don't go to extremes. Moderation. And then you will be able to live the experience of God. I think the key word in religion is moderation. Not going to the middle path. Not go to this way, that way, but go the proper path. Otherwise there will be a lot of pain and suffering. There are people who sit in Panchagni Madhye, surrounded by 5 fires in tapas. Fire here, fire there, fire in front, fire at the back, in the hot sun, in the hot desert. Everywhere there is fire. Sitting meditation, thinking that it will bring, he will see God. He will not see God by that kind of a torture. Moderate. Moderation is the key. See God in the world. He cannot be away from you. And for that we have to see God within oneself. So tado bhuya ivate tamaha yav sambhutya gumrata. So sambhuti means the manifest world, and sambhuti means the unmanifest world, the transcendental world. They are not separate, they are not different, they are one and the same. It's the way you look at it. So what is required, as they say, is a cognitive change. Continuing, so what should I do? Anyadeva akuhu sambhavat anyadakura sambhavat idi shushrumadhiranam yenastadvichachakshire. So from this we understand all quarrels about ideas about God has to be given up. You may worship one God, another may worship some other God. These are all manifestations of the same God. You must be able to see Krishna in Rama, Rama and Krishna, both in Shiva, and all the 3 in Devi, and all of them in Jehovah or Jesus Christ. That should be your, and all this experience is within your consciousness. That's how we should look at it. When we look at that, then there is no quarrel at all. So anyadeva ahuhu sambhavad. When you worship the sambhavad, sambhava means the unmanifest. Anyadeva ahu, you get a certain result. Anyadahu asambhavad. When you worship the manifest, you get some other result. Those results are limited results. You don't get the full result. Of course, by worshipping the unmanifest, sitting in deep meditation, you get a certain result, but not the full result. So too when you worship the world, you get a certain result. Or worship an image, you get a certain result, but not the full result. Anyadeva akuhu sambhavad. Anyadahur asambhavad. Idi shushrumadhi. So where do you get all these ideas? You seem to be a different kind of person. Where do you get all these ideas? You seem to be an integrationalist. You integrate everything. Integral. Philosophy of Aurobindo. Nowadays we talk about integralism. Everything can be integrated into this. Idi Shushruma, this how I heard. Purvesham, from my ancients. Idi Shushrumadhiranam, Dhira means gurus. Ancient gurus I have heard. Ye those naha to us, Vichachakshire explained this truth to us. So the gurus explained this truth to us. This is the most difficult portion. To say that God is in the sky is very easy to, because there is no way of going and knowing it. To say the world is different, materialistic, that also is easy. But to combine them, making you see God in the world and world in God, that's the, and everything in you, that is the most difficult thing. So one has to combine all the things. This is what I have heard from my masters. And hence what is the advice? Next. Sambhudim cha vinasham cha yastadvedo bhayam saha vinashena mrityum tirtva sambhutya mridamashnude. You have to know both. You have to know Sambhudi. Sambhudi the unmanifest. And Asambhudi the manifest. So instead of Asambhudi, a new word is used there, Vinasham. Vinasha means the perishable world. Vinasha means perishable. So you must know both the imperishable and manifest and the perishable material world. You cannot exclude the material world from the spiritual pursuit. You have to carry this world with you. So Sambhudim, then manifest. Vinasham, the perishable, that is Asambhudi. Yaha tad veda ubhayam saha, those who know both, those who cater to both, understand both. So the contemplation upon the higher will exercise certain control over your relationship with the lower. And the relationship with the lower will exercise certain control over your relationship with the higher. So they have to be balanced. Otherwise there is every danger of becoming mad. Some spiritual people are really mad. Materialists all are mad. So you cannot say. So he says, Sambhudim cha vinasham cha yaha tadveda ubhayam saha, those who know both and then have the correct mix in their own consciousness. Have the correct mix. You should know how much you should need the world, worldly comforts, and you should know that. And that can come only when you contemplate how much you need of the world and how to relate with the world. Vinashena mrityum tirtva. By interacting with the world, vinasha, worshipping the world, interacting with the world, vinasha means the world, asambodhi. Mrityum tirtva, you will be able to understand your mind. Mrityu means the mind there, ragadvesha, likes and dislikes. You will be able to understand your mind when you interact with the world. Sambhutya, by meditation, worshipping the higher, amrudatva mashnude, you can gain immortality. Vinashena mrityum tirtva sambhutya amridamashnude, immortality can be. That person alone gain perfect wisdom. Prajna paramida, perfect wisdom. Paramida prajna. Others get only partial wisdom. Don't get perfect wisdom. Perfect wisdom is when you can combine the higher and the lower, the transcendental and the material, when you can combine them and then live, you are perfectly wise. Otherwise you lose the charm.